Oh, shit. Didn't see you there. Let's go squat. Alright, so today is my heavy squat day, as we all know. And it is the last of the tutorials I gotta do. So this one is literally only going to be on how to squat. Just because my confidence with squats is the best. I feel like I understand the lift the most.
Mark's a squat specialist!
Anyway, it was after what Kyle said. Yeah, I guess it's true, whatever. But yeah, so today, every little detail from kind of warming up, setting up, everything until you get to your top set, your working sets, all that kind of stuff. So, with that being said, let's go run this. All right, losers, let's get to this. You know, we got that Gatorade on deck too. So, we're going to go step by step this whole process from warming up with the bar all the way up to my top sets and working sets. So, first thing we do, just get on the bar. The big thing here is hand placement as well as bar placement here. So this is where I kind of find it's feasible to find where your best hand placement is and where the bar sits most comfortable for you. So for me, I'm able to have my pinky on the ring or even a little bit inside and then be able to put the bar right low on my rear delts. So shoulder mobility is a huge thing with this too as well. So if you don't have good mobile shoulders, you're not going to be able to put it as comfortable as you want. But you need to test out and find what is most comfortable for you. Not everyone's going to be the same, so find out what's most comfortable for you, and then you'll be able to squat like me. Here we're going to cover how to get the weight up, walking it out, foot positioning, all that. So when you set your back up and everything with the bar, you want to literally just kind of stand up and squeeze your glutes at the top. This is going to engage everything in the normal. At the same time, you want to be able to have a good foot positioning. So whatever is going to get you depth, feel comfortable depending on how rotated your toes out as well. Whatever is going to make you feel the most tension in your whole entire body. As well as this, we are going to talk about the best walkout. So for walking out, you kind of want to put your feet close to where your feet land after the walkout. You don't want to exert a lot of energy into this, so you want to find a good position that's going to let your walkout be nice and crisp and not have a funky walkout. Next, we're going to talk about bracing. Bracing is the idea of creating that full body tension in order to drive the lift and be able to feel everything in the lift. So the big thing for squats is you want to brace enough so you feel your abdominal pressure, okay? And then you also want to pretend you are dragging the bar down while pulling your ribs down, but also pulling the bar in at the same time. This is going to create your upper back tension. This is going to create everything in a stacked position in order for you to handle the weight and feel as strong as you can. As well as that, I want to talk about what I do. So for me, to get the best bracing, I have the bar over my midfoot. In order to do this, I do this little hip hinge here that you see, and this is going to create the bar over the midfoot, which is the best position. This is where I really start to gear up, kind of put my knee sleeves on. So with the Iron Rebels, they are a little tighter, and I don't really want to rely on them that much. So I'll take my warm-ups as much as I can before I have to put them on, because these puppies will kill your legs. And then I'll also put the belt on here. So as I said before, we're bracing into the belt. So you want to feel that abdominal pressure, keeping the back tight, stacking the ribs, stacking everything into a good position. However, here we're going to be talking about tension and control. Tension and control is the big thing for squats for me. So I found when I had tempos back in the day that I need to slow down to create all that tension in my quads, my hamstrings, my glutes, and then I'll be able to squat whatever I can. So at the end of this video, you're going to see what I squat today, and it's just insane. But in order to find your tension and control, you really got to do a secondary day of tempos. So you got to do like a 5-second tempo, 3-second tempo, maybe even a pause at the bottom, or even a tempo going back up, which is brutal but in itself. So here, walking out, getting that position nice and steady, feet in the right position. And here, I kind of control the weight on the way down, and then I can able to explode. So just controlling that and feeling the tension throughout your body is best. Now we're at 4 reds right now. So this is where things get a little heavy, as I say, but here we're going to be covering out of the hole. So this is where, we're still doing the same things. We're kind of just wrapping up. So if your wrists are not able to take that load, I would invest in some wrist wraps that can just help you create that stability in your wrist as well. So for me, it's usually when I get up to anything past 375, my wrist will take it. Or if I'm doing back downs, holding all that weight creates a little fatigue in your arm. That's just a big thing. So you do have to create a way to find a way to not deal with that. It does create fatigue. You could see it in your bench or anything else, but that's another video I could cover if you are all willing to see. So we're going to be covering out of the hole in this one. So out of the hole is kind of a whole different story, just because you're kind of doing everything opposite of when you're going into the hole. So into the hole, you're creating that tension, you're building that in, you're pulling the bar into you and pulling it down into you, and then obviously creating that tension out of it. So when you get out of the hole, as we'll see in a second here, you'll see a couple of things pop up on your screen. So descend into the hole. So the triangle is what you want to see. You want to push that part up and loosen all that tension up. So what I mean by that is you want to pull the bar kind of up into you. So I'll explain it here because this is one of my favorite cues that I have. I call it the hand cue, or the loading the wrists. So when I'm pulling the bar down into me, I'm actually kind of loosening my wrist and my hands up. And then when I come out of that hole, pushing that triangle up on the back, I'm actually pulling my wrists in and loading the wrist up. As you see, the bar almost pop off my back there. So that's kind of what I do. That's what creates that explosiveness for me as well. And today we were actually able to hit a top set of 551 at a 6.5, which I have never been able to hit before. I did hit 551 back in prep, and it felt like a 7, but this is the fastest. I felt the most confident with it. I felt like I could literally put on 600 today and squat that today too. So we're implementing everything that we've seen in this video just to create it. So going from that walkout, bar placement. So if you notice, sometimes too, I do kind of come up and back out of the bar just so it feels right. Sometimes I go under the bar and it doesn't feel right. So just take your time with that. Like I said, you got to experiment with what works for you, what feels most comfortable for you. So we're doing that, getting our walkout on. And then from here, we are bracing in, hips back if you need. So some people, they have a shorter femur, so they don't need to. And actually the bar position is right over their midfoot, so they're actually perfectly fine. So some people don't need to do that. Me, with my long femurs, I need to pull it back a little bit just so it's over the midfoot. And like you see here, I actually thought it was misloaded, but it was actually just my back tightness. I didn't feel like it was the best, but it's fine. And then there's Brian running through, whatever. So, coming implementing everything back in, finding the best positioning for your back, keeping that nice and tight. And then we are squeezing those glutes at the top, walking out to the best position, and just finding where it is most comfortable as well. Pulling the bar down, bracing, all that kind of stuff, exploding out of the hole with the little hand cue. I think that's a cheat code, honestly. I actually took that from Jamar Royster, one of the best squatters in the 82 game. Honestly, one of the best squatters in powerlifting itself. He's actually hit 800 at an 82, which is fucking insane to me. So, yeah, I kind of took that from him, and it's worked since. So we're just doing everything from that. And that is really it. So, yeah, that's it. So that was yesterday's squat session. Everything I go through in my squat session to feel nice and warmed up. Everything I do into my squat that actually makes me feel into the squatter that I am today. Obviously, some things don't work for everyone. Some things do work for everyone. So it's just a matter of finding out what works best for you. Hopefully you all can take something out of this. I think you all can take something out of this just because everyone tends to be missing a piece of the puzzle in order to be successful. So honestly, seeing from someone else and then grabbing that information is honestly going to help. But yeah, I hope this helps anyone out with their squats. I know I'm probably one of the best squatters out there. It's a little cocky, but I'm kind of tired of being humble, but we can discuss that another time. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please share it with your friends. Anyone you think is struggling with squats definitely can take something from this. If you like this video, like, comment, share, subscribe, get your protein in, and I'll see you in the next one.